What's going on, everyone? It's DV, and today I'm going to be showing you how to auto farm coconut trees. This one's going to actually be a pretty easy build. You just need some conveyors and you need some macros. Now, for mobile players and Xbox players, you're probably going to have to stay active. You can still use this for farming very easily, but you're going to have to probably key press and tap if you're on one of those devices. But if you're on PC, you can actually use an auto key presser or a macro, and it should work just fine for you. Now, one thing to note, there is a little bit of a challenge here. I've noticed this for like about 2 months now or so, but see how you get knocked back a little bit? So I'm gonna have to show you how to counter that so that it doesn't break your auto farms. But before I begin, if you could do me a huge solid and hit that like button and smash the subscribe button. If you haven't already smashed it like this, actually that's more like chopping it. Don't chop the subscribe button. So unfortunately, my island is completely fresh out of the oven. So I'm gonna have to like get a little clever with this, but we're gonna go ahead and just make a strip over here. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna grab some grass, and just because it's super cheap and I don't want you to have to like break the bank just because I told you use glass. Even though glass is just easier to work with, we'll use grass. So I've got a ton of palm trees, by the way, so we're gonna hook these up in a minute. Now the challenge is I believe the palm trees are a different height than the fruit trees, so you're probably gonna have to do one or the other. So if you're gonna be auto farming coconut, pretty certain that they're different sizes. We're gonna see that in a minute. If that's the case, then you won't be able to combine them. We got a little runway here, and we're gonna it's gonna be completely loopable. Unfortunately, you're gonna need a lot of conveyors to do this properly, and you're gonna need a lot of the runway here. Now you may not need to do it this wide. I'm just doing this just because I need a little space here for my wall, and then we're gonna have space for the conveyor and then space for the actual like tree. And I don't want it to be too close, so we're gonna have it like this for a minute. Now the way this is gonna work, by the way, is you are gonna be dropping off. Okay, so we're gonna be making it so you drop off, and you're gonna be doing this over and over. So you can see I'm just gonna keep doing this. See how it's gonna loop like that? So pretty much our conveyor is actually gonna be right here, which does change a few things. So if you're like this and auto clicking, unfortunately that's gonna put a dent in things. So let's go ahead and move it a little bit. Let's go ahead and just move it over by one before we get too settled. So it'll just be, so basically it'll be one block right here on the right, and this is just going to be a wall we're going to have. So we're going to build a wall right here, and that way when you fall off, you can't get out of alignment here. See that? Now you're not actually going to be walking, by the way, so this will actually be conveyors, so you don't actually have to move, but we do need this wall so that when the fruit tree actually pushes you back, you don't actually fall off. So it'll be something like this, and then we're going to put a strip of conveyor down in just a minute. So let's go ahead and finish the strip out, and we want to make it pretty long. So, you know, it depends on how many trees you have. I mean, you are going to probably AFK this overnight is my guess. So if you're trying to really farm a ton of these, my guess is you're going to leave it overnight. Right here, we're going to add one more strip here. But instead of like at the bottom here, we're going to actually make this one up. Okay. So it's going to be just one up here like that. So just make a big strip here. And our conveyor is going to go right in between this. Let's get rid of that light torch. There we go. And then we need one more here. So let's go ahead and put the conveyors up so we can actually measure. So let's go ahead and do one more thing here. What we want to do is we want to plant the tree just a little lower. So we're going to test this out, the different heights real quick, because it's been a while since I've had to do one of these. And then we're going to measure right afterwards. So let's go ahead and let those grow real quick. Now, you don't actually need an obby start flag, but if you're not going to use the spawn like this, then what you could do is you can actually use an obby start flag, and then that when you drop off, so if you don't want it right there, you could put it anywhere. You just need an obby start flag, and then you could put it, so if you wanted to put it right here, for example, you could, and it's the same thing. It's just another spawn point, right? An obby start flag is basically another spawn point. No big deal. So these should be up in about 1 more minute. So one thing to note, by the way, during my live stream, a lot of people are asking me when the next Islands update is going to be, and if you're watching this the day of this video's release, not in the future, for example, then the next Islands update's actually coming this weekend, and it is going to come with the removal of the Godzilla event here. Currently, as of this video, we have the Kong and Godzilla events. These are going away this weekend, so make sure you start grinding some of those palm trees a little bit more before the event goes away, because as soon as the event's gone, those palm trees are gone too. And now, I don't know if you can get more saplings yet. I have not determined that. We might discover that shortly here while we're auto farming, if we can continue to get palm trees from farming on our island. I know in like the wild, as at least with starfruit, you can only get them while you're in the wild, but you can't get starfruit seeds, for example, from your own farm. So I don't know. We'll find out shortly here. If I can't figure that out during this video, then I will ask the devs prior to ending the video, so we at least get an answer on that. So there's one of the trees. Man, that's a big tree. Okay, so coming back down here, when we're farming, yeah, this is going to be a good height here. And so this is not going to grow. So let's go ahead and chop this down. Hopefully our palm tree will pop now. Then we'll go ahead and lighten this up over here. And since I'm pretty sure this height's going to be fine, let's go ahead and build the rest of this while we're at it, because we're going to need this anyway. All right, there we go. Let's see. I'm pretty sure this is going to be an okay height, but we might have to lower it a bit. Yeah, you know what we'll do is I'll show you 2 different farms. I'll show you one for coconut. Now, I wouldn't advise actually planting your trees like this you know, you're not gonna get all of these to grow, but that's okay. We can always take away the ones that don't grow, and we can always extend this out a bit. So I've got a lot of these trees. You can see I got a ton of them. So we're gonna go and just continue building these out and make this way longer since we have the palm trees to do so. Actually, I won't go all the way to the end. Something like that's pretty good. Now coconuts do sell for a pretty good amount. I'll show you what they sell for in a minute. Just to save some blocks, I'm just gonna do the top layer because we don't really need the bottom layer. We just need the top. And then let's go ahead and build our tree runway here. And we're just gonna spam these down and we're gonna collect the ones that didn't grow. Now you don't need that many of these trees. I would say you probably need about 60 or so if you want a really good farm. So you can see here, it's anywhere between 3 and 4. See that? So I mean, if you want to guarantee, I guess you could do 4, but then if you do 4 all the time, you're missing out the opportunity to have a little bit more compact trees, right? So you see some of them are 3, some of them are 4. Part of it's dependent on how you place them, like if you rotate them correctly when you first do it. But you can see like some of these are rotated weird. So I think if you rotated them correctly, it might be this slant right here. See this slant right here? It's this rotation. Then it's 3 in between. So if I really cared, then I could probably go and optimize this more. But I don't really care because we got so many of these. We're in good shape. Okay, so there's our palm trees. And let's go ahead and add some more over here. All right, those will start popping up in a little bit. And we got plenty to spare. Okay, that's pretty good. Let's go ahead and put our conveyor down. We'll go ahead and just spam these real quick and then we'll fix the gaps that we missed. It's a little easier than kind of trying to be super careful with it. So you can just kind of repair the ones that you missed. And there we go. So we got a bunch of these palm trees. You can see we already got some coconuts up here. The nice thing is coconuts are a lot easier to farm than say like, you know, apples or anything like that, because apples like have branches and stuff. Same with lemons and all that, and they're kind of all over the place. So the optimal way for PC players is because we don't have that little hand that goes through like different objects and stuff that mobile does. We actually have to have like, see how like I have to put my mouse over the visible parts of this object, and as soon as it goes behind that branch, the branch makes it so it doesn't actually make contact with that. Whereas mobile, I believe you have a little hand no matter what, as long as you're within range, and then you can just tap that and farm it. So the difference here is we do need to go into first person mode. We're going to go to camera toggle mode as well. And what that's going to do is it's going to let me move my mouse around without moving the camera, right? So once you're up here, I can move my mouse around like this with a macro. So I'm going to get so many more coconuts than I would if I were zoomed out. The other thing I would actually advise is just make sure all the trees are rotated the same direction so that it's a little easier to pick them up. And I think the best rotation is going to be like this side. So again, if you can, use toggle camera mode, and then I'm actually going to show you right now. So I use this tool called Tiny Task. It is a macro. I've shown it many times. This is only for auto farms. Now you don't have to use a macro if you're going to actively farm, right? So you could pretty much do this too. Like there's no reason you can just do this. So if you're just playing around and you're just like and you could just pretty much sit here and wait for the coconuts. Now one thing you're going to notice, it's kind of bumping me forward. So instead of pushing us back, it's actually bumping us forward. So we got to put a little thing here so we don't get off track, because it's going to pull us off the conveyor otherwise. So just do this right here. That way we don't have any issues with getting knocked off our track, because the coconuts really want to pull us. So we're going to go and just fill this up real quick so that we don't get pulled off the conveyor. And like I said, you know, consistent rotation of your palm trees, probably a good idea. I just didn't do it, but I'm going to show you in case you don't rotate them correctly. And what I mean by rotation, when you place them down, you can actually rotate them with the R key. So check this out. So you see I'm placing this guy right here. You can rotate them with the R key. So that is a good rotation. That's a good rotation. See, it's just consistent. But if you're doing it like I was, then sometimes you're going to get stuff that's like, you know, this side, that side, you know, sometimes it's going to be like this, and then it's a big mess. You can already see they're kind of rotating differently. See that? So you want them to be consistent when you place them. If you're in a hurry like I was, I mean, I'm just giving you a build example, but if you're in a hurry, then it's not going to come out as nice. Plus the nice thing is if you keep them consistent, then the spacing in between is going to be consistent, and you can probably fit a lot more coconut trees by doing that. So you saw that some of these are actually 3 space, some of them are 4 space, some of them are 5 space. So I'm going to show you this macro tool I'm using again. It's just called Tiny Task. I mean, a lot of people use it, and especially in islands. And the devs do allow macros, by the way, so you're not breaking any rules here. I would never show you a video that causes you to break rules, okay? Okay, so let's go and do this. So you can see up here, we got, you know, preps. We're going to change this to continuous playback. I do have a recording hotkey. It is F8, and then my playback is Control-Shift-Alt-P. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to record this. We're going to miss the first few here, but I'm going to hit F8 shortly here, but we're going to move the camera just up a little bit, because when we get pushed forward or moved around, we don't want to be out of range. If you do it like this, it's going to get out of range if you get too close like that. So we want about right here. And what we're going to do is we're going to hit F8 to start recording. We're going to spam the F key up and down. So I got to go really fast. Okay. And we're going up and down really fast with that F key being spammed, because we don't want to miss any coconuts. We're missing some coconuts here because I already did a farm just a minute ago, but we're going to hit the F key like that really fast, and hopefully we'll get them. See, we got one. I'm going to go in at F8. I'm going to play this back so you can see now it's actually going. Look how fast it's going. So we just got one right there. It's going up and down. And the next time, it's okay if you miss some coconuts. It's just gonna happen. But based on timing of things, the next time you come through, maybe you're gonna get them. So see, I just missed those two, and you're just gonna miss them. Unfortunately, it's fine. Don't worry about it. Don't stress it. You'll get it next pass through most likely. Just because timing's different, and just because I'm doing it naturally. See how I got one of those right there. And then at the end here, we're gonna drop off. Okay, so you're gonna see us just fall, and man, we're getting so many coconuts. It's cool. So it's just how it goes. You got another one right there, and you can pretty much leave this running all night. Like I said, it's gonna miss some at times. It's okay if it misses some. It's different timings as well. So the next time you come through, the mouse might be going faster. So you're gonna get, like I said, you have a better chance the next time you come through to get stuff. And if you lag a little bit, you might, miss some. But you see how my mouse speed is going inconsistent. So you probably want to keep that a little faster, and just keep smooth movements. Spam that F key over and over while you're recording, and then play back, and you can pretty much step away from your computer. Okay, so I've confirmed you cannot get these saplings from coconuts on your island. So you need to head over to Kong and grind like crazy, because this is the last week of being able to do it. So just go ahead and hit that Kong button, and I'm actually gonna go ahead and over there right now. Now there's been an issue with hackers lately. A lot of them you never really find coconuts, but I'm not seeing that issue here. Clearly there's some coconuts right here. So let's go and grab those. So I'm actually gonna farm this for a while myself. I do have a ton of these, but they are limited items. They go for about 20,000 a piece right now. So imagine coming here and getting a ton of these and selling these for 20,000 a piece. It's crazy. So right now, this is actually about 2 million right now. I could probably make more than 2 million coins technically if I wanted to, and it'll definitely be going up in value, especially after the event is over, because if you can't get saplings after the event, they're gonna go up in value a lot. So just run around here. You can also auto farm this, same technique, by the way. So you could pretty much just auto farm these. So let's go over to sell crops. I'm gonna show you how much coconut's going for. See, it's worth 45 coins, just like Starfruit. And then you can see for 116 here, I'm getting 5,200 coins. It's a really great crop. So I hope this video was helpful to you. If it was, please hit that like button and smash the subscribe button if you're new, and go get those palm tree saplings before they run out. Peace.